Welcome to New Realities. I'm Alan Steinfeld, and I have a very exciting program today about an amazing device that talks about healing the field. And I'm with a bunch of very good friends who are really well informed. There's Andrea Candy, Barbara Slane, Deb, what is it, Deb?
Gaetano.
And also my good friend, Barbara Lewison. So just to introduce this whole idea of what we're talking about today, this Healy, which is a healing device, which I just used, and I thought it was pretty amazing. Barbara Slane, why don't you introduce what we're really talking about here so people listening can find out.
Hi, everybody. Having had a center for a long time and trying out numerous devices, being skeptical, I was introduced to the Healy and had no idea if it would work. And this works. This is an amazing device. Oh, we don't have it here. It is an amazing device. I call it the pocket doctor, and it is capable of a tremendous amount of applications. It will find your resonance, and it will be able to detect in real time what you need to balance. And this balancing ranges from physical symptoms to energetic to chakras. It runs the whole gamut. And this little device actually works. And the buzz now is about healing in the field, whether it's Limb Taggart and devices like the Healy, which was just introduced into the United States in May, FDA approved as a medical grade 2 healing device. And at the very least, you could even put it on areas of your body that are inflamed, and it works as a microcurrent. But this is a quantum healing device that works. And I think it's really important that we all empower ourselves to stay healthy and be healthy at this time. The applications, again, it's going into flu season. There's bioenergetic support. There's EMF protection. It's really endless. The biggest issue with this Healy is you don't want to overuse it because it's so incredible. It's like you take it with you. It's wearable. You can do anything with it. So here it is. And you have two little armbands that you put on. It was on Alan all day today. He had noticeable effects. That's why he's acting a little strange. I'm only kidding, which he'll explain to you. And, but the bottom line is I wouldn't be here if it didn't work, because there are very few of these devices that work this well. This Healy device was derived from a larger device called the Time Waver, which is a, I don't know, Andrea, $20,000 machine where you have to see the practitioner. So again, this empowers you not only to run the programs, but it tunes into your frequency to tell you what you need. And to me, that is super cool. So I'm going to turn this over to Andrea.
Wait, but Barbara, before you turn it over to Andrea, I just want to say there's been so many devices out there that work with healing and frequency and the field. I mean, this.
I've done them all. I know you've done them all. We had the Sharin. The Sharin had its limitations, but there were some things that were good. Honestly, this is a must-have device for the time now on the planet.
Just tell me what it's changed for you, and then we'll go to Deb and Andrea. I want to know what made a difference in your life, because otherwise it's just fluff.
Okay, so it's made a million different little shifts in different ways. When you start the program, you go through a detox, and I really felt it. There's programs for energy. I've been tired and I put on energy, but they work on a certain trajectory where they want you to kind of clear your body a bit before you start adding other frequencies, which is they should do that. And what ends up happening is your body is more receptive to these frequencies. I've used it for, the device has tuned into me real time to figure out what I need. And sometimes you don't know what you need. You don't know if your headache is gallbladder or intestinal, and this device helps you and then tells you the programs.
Or emotional. There's a tremendous emotional component to the Healy.
Huge. I mean, with the FDA, this is a mind-body soul instrument. The technology was developed by a monk who really wants people to be empowered, to bring peace to the planet, and to have it, every person can have this. So the integrity and how this was developed is a lot of the reason why this is such an instrument that's working so well.
So you've noticed shifts in your energy. You've noticed shift in your energy, basically, right?
Everyone is different. So for me, it worked right out of the gate really well. Then I had to make some adjustments. Then it was worked again. It's worked with energy. It's worked with my foot that I tweaked when I put the electrodes on. If you meditate, they have different chakras that come up that could be blocked and you put it on. So this works in a myriad of ways. It is a multi-dimensional device that can be used in so many areas and in so many ways. It's very exciting. I mean, it's kind of like my new best friend. I am with this all the time. So Alan, I like you that I let you borrow it today.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, so Andrea, do you want to jump in about your
So
information?
yes, I'm going to share my PowerPoint screen with you in a minute, but I want to preface it by saying, as Barbara said, this was approved May 1st by the FDA in the United States. It's been in Europe for over 15 years. Now, we have to remember that in Europe, they can talk about illnesses and what the Healy can do. So they can talk by disease and illness and diagnoses. We cannot in the United States. That's the understanding always with the FDA. The FDA amazingly approved this device for arthritis, so they use that term, and muscle pain and soreness and depression. So they really gave us a lot of leeway into what it covers. But I just want to say, we can talk about symptoms. We cannot talk about diagnoses, and that's important to remember.
I just also want to tell people you're an herbalist. Is that what your background is?
Master herbalist, and I have been actually working with vibrational medicine for 30 years. And the form that I use is liquid frequency to dismantle pathogens in the body, like Lyme disease is my specialty, so I can test to see what pathogens the tick has passed in. But what I like about the Healy is that for those people who have been ill for many years, we can remove the pathogens with the vibrational remedy. What about the injury to the body, all the inflammation that they have experienced? So the Healy comes in and now can stimulate your cells to accept new frequencies to regenerate them. So we can regenerate and rejuvenate with the Healy, which is quite amazing. So
Through the frequency. So you just want to but I guess you'll show this, but the frequencies are tuned to my body, and I'm picking up these frequencies. Is that how it works?
we'll see that in the PowerPoint.
Okay, let's go to.
Is actually quantum sensor. There is a quantum sensor in this device that participates with each person, reading each person, as Barbara had said, so that you can never get more of the frequencies that you need. If you've gotten enough of the frequencies, then your body won't take any more in because of the quantum sensor. It's pretty amazing, actually. So
Let's look at the PowerPoint because I'm sure everyone is interested. We've got a bunch of people online looking too. Sounds like using.
So do you see it?
No, you have to share the screen.
Okay, now you see it, right?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
we see it.
Okay, so this device is half the size of a cell phone, which is pretty extraordinary because, as Barbara referenced, the Time Waver device, which is a big tabletop device in Europe, they, with technology, have reduced the contents to this little device. This device is operated by your cell phone. Your cell phone has the Healy apps. So when you purchase a Healy, you are then able to download the apps that feed the programs into the cell phone. So for the seconds or minute that it takes to transmit a program from your cell phone to the Healy, then you turn the cell phone off and you're just on the Healy and getting the frequencies from this little device that you can clip onto your shirt or wear around your neck. So it's wearable, it's portable. That's pretty amazing. Then you are not tied to anything. You can go out walking, you can wash the dishes, you can be in your office, you can work out, you can drive the car, you can do anything you want to do with this device while you're getting your frequencies, which is just wonderful. One of the things that drew me to this company were the founders. So Marcus was a monk. Nina is a doctor who has clinics all over Europe, and he developed the core frequencies for this device. These are spiritual people. And I have to say, even when we attend the corporate meetings, the attitude is spiritual, caring, wanting a device into people's hands to help them heal. They're not about money, this company, which really appealed to me because I'm not either. So as it says here, so many applications. For anybody who's interested, we can send you the notes on exactly what the programs contain. You would be astonished to see what these programs cover. And we have it all over Australia, Asia, Europe, and it's used with doctors and in their clinics all over the place. You can see on the left, you have a digital nutrition application. So I want to talk about that for a moment. People can buy a Healy, end of story, and it will do everything we've just been telling you about. But Healy also provides certain subscriptions. You don't need the subscriptions to have your Healy, but if you want them, they're there. I want to talk about this one because this one blew me away. Digital nutrition application means, and it sounds like a lot, $95 a month subscription, but I pay way more than that for my monthly supply of vitamins and supplements. And this does away with all that. So they have amazing programs, excuse me, for frequencies of supplements, of herbs, of magnesium, calcium, amino acids, whole programs of frequencies for brain health, for women's health, for inflammation. It's pretty extraordinary, actually. And you can have the Healy analyze you to see what is it that you need of this nutrition. So at first, when I heard about this, I was really skeptical. As well-versed as I am in vibrational remedies, I was pretty skeptical. But it made me think back. I'm going to give you two examples. It made me think back several years ago to a client of mine, a very healthy man who just never slept, and it was driving him crazy. And of course, he had tried everything, all the drugs, all the herbs, everything you could think of, all the minerals. Nothing was helping him to sleep. The only other thing that I had in my practice that he hadn't tried was the vibrational remedy of tryptophan. Now, this man had taken tryptophan and it didn't work for him. When he took it in vibrational form, he ordered 10 bottles. He said for the first time in his adult life, he was sleeping. And this has continued for years. So when I heard about this DNA, I thought, oh yeah, I know this works, because he was able to receive his ability to sleep via the frequencies. Now, just the other day, Deborah and I were talking to someone who is a rep in Healy, and she was out with her Healy, no electrodes, just this little device clipped on her shirt. And all of a sudden, she said, maybe I would get this once or twice a year at most. She started to get intense muscle spasms in her ankle and then her feet. And the cramping was severe. She couldn't stand up. She couldn't stamp it out. She couldn't do anything. And then she remembered, wait a minute, I have my DNA right on me. So she dialed in potassium. And in seconds, it all stopped. So that's an amazing thing to me about how I can get my nutrition without spending all this money and without swallowing all these capsules.
Can you just stop eating altogether and just use your frequency, your device?
I would never give up my food.
Andrea, on that note, I have heard so many people that we know who had sleep issues, and after 1 or 2 nights with the Healy on the sleep program, it was the first time, 2 people, Linda and Hope, that they slept through the night.
Yeah, my son as well. Yeah.
So these are real, these are testimonials, guys, from people we know, you know, they're close with us. And so it works.
Wait, if you're using it for sleep, do you use it while you're trying to sleep, or you use it before you go to sleep? Or
You would do it probably right before, but I think there's various ways to do it. And someone I know is running it longer.
Mhm.
You can run it while you're sleeping. You don't have to have the wires do not have to be attached. You can actually just take the device and have it be by your bedside, because the frequencies are transmitting to you remotely.
I did
And
that.
so,
I was up for
yeah.
hours, and then all of a sudden I remembered, duh, you have the Healy right next to you. So I put a sleep program on and ran it for the next 4 hours, and I slept for 6 more hours.
Great. So, okay, else is in the PowerPoint then?
So I just wanted to finish talking about the subscriptions, just to let you know what's available. Because they even have more coming. They have a subscription coming very soon for weight loss and for some other things. This second one is the Heal Advisor, and the $35 a month subscription, if someone wants it, to explore illnesses. So you could type in, whatever disease, and the people from Europe's repertoire will answer you and let you know exactly what programs you should be running for that disease. So you can access all of the European doctors' information with this if you feel that you need it. Now, I'm going to let Deborah talk about.
Wait, before you do that, I'm just getting some comments on the live chat on YouTube. Someone says there's 144 programs. Another person says you can only use 3 programs a day. Is that true?
No, that's not true
Mhm.
at all. You
Just
can
to
use
get that detox going. But now I'm doing 5, 6, and 7 a day.
Okay. Okay.
And it depends on your sensitivity, but what she means is that in the beginning, the first 3 days, they want you to run specific programs that Dr. Nino, invented to get your cells in your body ready to receive the frequencies.
Mhm.
People
All
who
right.
are very
Yeah.
toxic may want to run that for a week or 2 weeks or a month, depends upon the person.
Mhm. Right. Someone just says, what's the best website? Someone's looking for a website about this. Where?
So a couple of things. Is that ABC? I can't hear Andrew. I can't hear you.
We can email in great information. If they want to give us their email, we'll send them out some terrific information.
All right.
We'll send you, actually, the reason why you want to go through us, and just to tell you right off the bat is, so again, I was hesitant and we got involved. You want to have an upline of people that are committed to your healing and your health, not just to selling a Healy, because we're getting tons of calls from people that need our help that bought the Healy elsewhere. So it would be, advantageous for you guys to be on our upline, which is Andrea, and then up and up and up. We have an incredible team of healers that, can really.
You're committed to this. So the best way to reach you is Life Balance, LIPHE Balance, BALANCE @gmail.com, right?
Should I put it on the
Put it
chat?
on, yeah, put it on the chat.
Are you on the YouTube chat?
I don't, just a check. I don't know. So probably not. I'm probably on the, yeah. So
Okay.
it's Life Balance, LIP as in Paul, H as in Henry, E as in Elephant, Balance @gmail.com. Just reference that you were on this call. We'll send you websites. We'll send you any information that you want.
Anyway, but you're saying, 3 of you, and we'll get to Deb, you're committed to this product and you want to make sure people use it in the right way for the most powerful, effective use, right?
The most important reason why it was set up this way, so that you have a sponsor to work with and not have it just be a random something you could buy on a website. This is a very special piece of device. This technology is huge. And as tiny and as simple as this little device seems to be, and as light as it is, it actually is a power packed with technology that has been really unchallenged. There are certainly different frequency devices out there, tabletop devices out there. None of them will be as focused as the Healy is. And because of that, what it takes to learn how to use it, which is not hard at all. Let's understand
If I
that.
can do it, anyone can.
Yeah, it's not hard at all, but you do need to have someone you can reach out to and talk to so that you can learn how to customize it to your benefit. That
Okay.
takes in with something personal.
And it's not just that, it's that we all come from a healing background in various ways. So we're not just gonna if there's something else that we feel you should do, we will refer you. This is about and it's also about a community and a consciousness community.
Okay, why don't we keep going through the PowerPoint, then we'll go back to the screen so people can see who you are and who to trust, who you are. All right, Andrea, you want to finish, go through the PowerPoint?
Almost every day, learning, constantly learning, in
Right.
contact with corporate about it all. We are constantly learning and sharing. That's who we are, to support people. So Deb, you want to talk about the watch for a minute? I don't have the watch. I don't feel I need the watch, so I haven't gotten into it. It's not something you must have for the Healy.
Wait,
Deb,
are you finished with the PowerPoint? Are you finished?
no, this is
No.
the part of this screen.
Oh, I see. Oh, yeah, the watch. Okay, go ahead. Yes. Deb.
So the watch is very interesting. The watch will work with your fitness and your sports part of the program of getting, you know, healthy and in balance. So it works similar to a Fitbit or an Apple Watch, but it takes it a bit further. This is working with not just, of course, getting in the amount of steps so that you're working with a consciousness about how much athletically that you are applying to your daily life. But this is working also with your heart. It actually will tell you about your sugar. It'll tell you about certain things that you're not getting from other devices. So if you're interested in learning about this, I will be able to share it with you. I'm not going to go too into it right now, but it will be for the physical side of the healing, that it gives you a lot of in-depth information.
It monitors your sleep as well, doesn't it?
It monitors your sleep. It tells you, it's just kind of amazing. Even for breath, that it could tell you about your breathing and how it is being used. It's quite amazing. I mean, you know, you start to work from the bottom up and you start to customize it like you would a TV channel. You know, this is how we're going to get our health in balance, but in the palm of our hands, as opposed to going to a doctor and having them, you know, set you up with all these different things. You will be able to do your own. And that is empowering all by itself.
So there's different steps, guys. So what worked for me, and everyone's different, is I wanted to first get the Healy and master it and feel comfortable with it. Because the Healy in and of itself is remarkable. And as we were sitting here, because I got some blood tests back where my thyroid was a little low, I'm going to show you, I downloaded the thyroid program into my phone. I don't have to wear these. I could just have it resonate with me. It's stronger if you wear them. They're super easy. You're completely not restricted. And now this program is running. And you can gauge for yourself how you feel and what's working. And there's also people that you can work with that can download programs like us. We are members of the Heal Advisors. So if you have something specific and you need a program for it, then you just ask us. It's just really cool. Now Deb wears hers on her shirt.
Well, we can't see you right now. We have to go through the PowerPoint, then go back to because we're not.
All right.
Let's finish the PowerPoint and then we'll go back to you and you could show all that.
Right. So this slide is talking about the time waiver from Europe that's in all these clinics and how it's been put into technology for a small device like this, half the size of a cell phone. And I mentioned the quantum sensor, which is a person's device, so that it is communicating with their own energy field. Pretty amazing. So this one Healy can be used by the entire family. So for example, the digital nutrition can be used by everybody in the family. The Healy can be used by everybody in the family. So there is no limitation. Each person doesn't have to have their own. For pain, so there's programs in there for joint pain, back pain. Remember, Deborah, when you first used it, how quickly your chronic back pain was relieved.
Amazing.
Yeah. And when we see swelling and inflammation, we can put the Healy on these places as well. So it's amazing. I can tell you, my husband had migraine Now, when he gets a migraine, in 20 minutes, the Healy got rid of it. 20 minutes. It happened twice, as a matter of fact. I had a headache. 20 minutes, it was gone. So, I mean, I'm just wowed by it. So as we told you, it's FDA cleared and it's throughout the world. Now, I wanted to show you this. So here you're seeing where the cell membrane, due to inflammation and illness, can become hard and rigid, and you're not getting the waste product out and you're not getting the nutrients in. And when you get on the Healy, the quantum sensor can sense that and then deliver the frequencies to your cells, and getting the waste product out so that the cell membrane can become more soft and permeable so that you can get the nutrients in. This is very important. Here you see a slide. Deborah, would you like to talk about this slide? You've talked about this really well.
Well, so when we are young, we have these healthy cells, which if you look at the very bottom of this diagram, you're looking at a very, the green cell is large and healthy and vibrant. But as we're growing older, we have trauma to the body, we have illness, we have inflammation. And so this is starting to challenge each of the cells in our bodies. And this is how we start to create a lot of pain and a lot of discomfort or dis-ease that goes on because of life and everything, all the environment that we're living in. So when you're working with the Healy is so incredible. It has its own intuitive device in that it is working with each of our cells. Every time you use the Healy, it's not something that you're going to say. Not every time is it a black and white that you see the results in a nanosecond. What you do see is an increase in shift that takes place. And that's because the cells in our bodies are being healed one at a time, right? So as it's going through and it's handling a cell, it's clearing the cell, it moves on to the next cell and the next and the next. So this is how we start to see a shift in our own cells, whether it be incredibly more energy that we don't even realize that all of a sudden we're waking up without the fog in our minds, in our brains, or we're just all of a sudden we've got things to do and we're doing them without any extra force, because it's all happening with that subtle shift taking place and the healing of the cell one at a time or several at a time. And Barbara will explain, even when it comes to the blood, how she's been able to actually see that. And you'll see it in one of these diagrams as well, how the healing of that cell occurs. For me, I had bouts of depression and menopause clashing at the same time. Beyond, I could not believe I could not get out of bed. And so I went to my Healy and started following the programs that it was prescribing, and a little bit at a time, I feel like a brand new person. I will be grateful forever.
Hormonal balance. Yeah.
Total balance. Yeah.
So here you see the effects of the microcurrent treatment. Increasing ATP production up 500% is extraordinary because it's feeding the mitochondria and increasing protein synthesis. This is how you build your cells, and amino acids are the building blocks. So these are amazing things that have been well documented. This is the slide that really amazes me. So on the left, you see platelets that are clumped. That means you're not getting oxygen into the cells. You need oxygenation. After being on the Healy for 1 hour, look at the slide on the right, and now you see nice round platelets that are free flowing, and even the little white spots in between are your white blood cells, which are larger and going to eat up pathogens. So this is a very huge difference in blood just 1 hour before and 1 hour after being on the Healy.
Well, I have to say, after I tried this today, I got very hungry, like I wanted to nourish myself and be fed. No, it was good. It was good. Anyway.
You got a little tired.
I got tired, but then I got really hungry. So like something happened.
the Healy Gold. These are like the gold cycle of the Healy. This is Dr. Nina again, who has created these amazing programs. And this is how we start with these. We start with pure balance and release. Those are our 3 programs that we do for the first few days or week or so. There are 4 models. This is, as you see the price, the least, and you get all of this in that model. Then you go to the next 3 models, and the difference between them is that one has more programs than the next, and you can see that in front of you. And also, if you want, we have a very detailed list of exactly what programs are covered that we can easily email to you. The difference between the Healy Holistic Health Plus and the Healy Resonance is this: they both have exactly the same number of programs, but the Resonance has an extra app that allows you to analyze your body in real time. Now, why is that so exciting? Well, if you have a headache, you could just say, okay, I'm going to go to the pain aspect of it and just get rid of my headache. Or you could go to the Healy Resonance, let it do a quick scan on you and say, oh, why do you have a headache today? Is it your gallbladder because you didn't digest fats well? Is it emotional and you're under a great deal of stress? So your programs might be different for healing your body to get rid of that headache. That's the big difference between them. Anything else you guys want to add to that, Barbara, Deb?
Well, it's interesting because like you said, it's not as obvious as some people think, right? So isn't it more important to find out the core reason of why we're feeling the way we're feeling instead of just putting a Band-Aid on it? And that's why the Healy Resonance is, for me, the most important tool to have in my medicine, arsenal, because I want to be able to get to the core reason why something is occurring. And that could be happening emotionally. It could be, it's not always a physical something, and it's funny because how many times have we've looked at something where the Healy is saying you need to run something like your intestines or your kidneys or your pancreas or something that has to do with that when I have a headache, and I never, would have put the 2 together to understand, oh my goodness, it's because of my liver. It's because of this, it's because of that. I'm getting educated all the time. I feel like I am in a master class that is so enjoyable because I'm learning now, like all the time. And I'm a lay person. I'm learning from the beginning, and I feel so empowered by the fact that I can now understand this and I can try to change it.
Can you go back to the previous slide, Andrea? I just want to see the difference. I wasn't absorbed. So the previous slide that's the basic, right?
So I wanted to mention,
Yeah.
my goal in getting the Healy was that I've had shoulder issues, very serious shoulder issues for a long time now, and in a lot of pain. And after 3 days running the Healy, the pain went away, allowing me to sleep better. And now, in order to nourish that area, I am now working with gallbladder meridian, intestines, liver, because these are meridians that run through the shoulders. So that is similar to what Deb was saying. When you start to understand, one part of the body affects the other, and how can you nourish it all?
So
And
the
those
Healy,
are in the different levels of this Healy. So you have to understand that in order to gain the most out of this, because you don't know in the beginning how many of these programs would actually benefit you until you start working with the Healy. When you start doing that, all of a sudden you're saying, I should have gotten the next edition, the next level, because I want to have these programs. Sorry, go ahead.
wait, so the basic Healy Gold doesn't really diagnose, it just sends the programs. Is that it?
It has the quantum sensor in it. So
Okay.
it will adjust to your cells what this covers. This is the extent of what it covers. Now, when you look at the next models, you see it's that plus, that
Okay.
plus. And what I wanted to say was, once I got the Healy, now it's like every little thing you feel, oh, wait a minute, I'll go to my Healy, because it becomes your Band-Aid, you know, your medicine chest for everything. And you start to think, wow, oh, my knee hurts today. I'll just put the Healy on it for a little while. It's amazing.
Great, great. Okay, is there more? Yes.
That's it. That's the Healy power.
Why don't you open it up to questions?
Yes, can you take it off a screen share for a second? Just on Andrea's part. Yes, hi. Thank you for that, Andrea. That's a great presentation. Someone's asking online, but okay, it's a frequency, but how does it really work? How does that frequency come into your body at the right level and change everything? You know, show the device you put on your wrist, Barbara, you said. Okay, but how does, do you know what I'm saying? This woman wants to know exactly how it works, because
Well, they have a proprietary medical cloud that they
Okay.
spend a lot of money on quarterly, but so basically it's a cloud. It's a frequency device that it's quantum physics. Andrea, correct me if I'm wrong. And it tunes in either to the programs that are already in here in the Pink Healy, or it tunes into your frequency to pick up the areas that are in need of support.
Okay, well, let me see if Barbara Lewison or Diane. Hi, Diane. Welcome to the program. Good to see you again. Barbara, you can unmute yourself, unmute, and you too, Diane. And is there anything that what do you think? You have any questions, Barbara?
Diane told me very, very, very briefly, I mean, a very sort of just a touch about what it was, and I didn't get enough.
Okay.
But this has been really, really helpful. I've really learned a lot. I don't have an enormous number of questions, other than what I know about you, Alan. It suddenly struck me, because I know you also as an acupuncturist. I know you as a practitioner as well. And some of what the women were sharing, it felt like you would go from a different aspect and tune into these types of things with us and with clients.
Yeah.
And so I'd be curious to hear a little bit more about what your thoughts are about this too.
Oh, well, I'm new to this in a way. I really like the effect it had on my body as far as feeling detoxifying, and then more clearer mind, just from the brief treatments I've used. So, you know, acupuncture works on meridians, and they do similar things, but it's not a frequency thing. I think this is, in a sense, more immediate than acupuncture, because you're already changing the frequency as you wear the device. Acupuncture takes a while for the body to get used to a new frequency or a new pattern of being. This, from what I understand, sets the pattern for you, so your body can then resonate with that pattern, as opposed to trying to undo other ways and just, it's slower. I think acupuncture could be a great adjunct, but it's a little,
It's slower, and this is energy meeting energy fairly quickly with frequency. Like Einstein said, everything is energy. So your thoughts are energy, everything you do is energy, but this device has really kind of just pulled it all together so that it's interacting with your body with these frequencies in a very, very individual way, because you would never want something that was for everybody. So when your body will only take in what it can with this instrument, and then it will shut it off. You know, nobody wants to be bombarded by a device that is not sensitive to your individual frequency. Especially for me, I'm very sensitive. That would not work. That's why many of these other devices never worked.
So Diane, what's been your experience with this device?
Well, my experience has been that a woman from Australia that I knew from my past phoned me, and she just mentioned it to me. But I have been talking about frequency or vibrational medicine since I was a little girl. And I kept saying, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming.
It's
and
here.
And I knew it was here. I knew that most DISEs has their vibrational signature already established and all of that. So when she told me about it, I was just so excited, right? Because this is not something that is new to my consciousness. I have been thinking all my life, certainly burn, cut, and poison can't be the way. I know that to be a fact, right? So, and I know vibrational frequency is already being used in many medical, if you think about CAT scans or x-rays, I mean, it's all based vibrationally as well. Healing, for healing bones, they do vibrational things for that as well. So she didn't have to do a lot for me. She did, from Australia, she did an aura reading on me, which was really, again, you kind of have to suspend belief a little bit, because how can she do it from Australia when I'm sitting here in Vancouver, Canada? And, you know, it was just in a couple of minutes. I mean, I have it up on the screen here. And I was fascinated by that. But is it any more unreasonable than, you know, I can hold this up, no wires attached, and it can come directly to me from someone anywhere else in the world?
Right.
I mean, I don't think it's that big. I think like the cell phone is preparing us all a lot for how we are all interconnected and how, you know, yeah. So I think it's a change of a mindset.
So you don't own one yet, but
I ordered one right away.
but what's so
I
good
ordered
about-
one without a lot of information, just because I'm like, hallelujah, it's like here and available, and it's not in Canada yet.
There you go.
So-
We're all going up to Canada to get this thing happening. Maybe we'll make Barbara Lewison the flagship stop, because
Well, I think I'm the flagship stock because I already ordered it.
okay.
I hear there's only 3 in Canada. Myself, somebody in Calgary, and somebody in Toronto.
What's so great about this team of women, Deb and Barbara and Andrea, is that they studied this. They will work with people through this, because there's a bit of a learning curve that I'm still learning. So that's so great about having a team and then building a business and getting it out there and delivering the information in a way that can be understood. Anything you want to add about that, Deb, or what? Yes.
Say, there's many forms of energy medicine. When you think about it, homeopathy, acupuncture, Reiki, the Bach flower essences. So they're all forms of energy medicine. And what I like to think of is the functional medicine doctors coined the term nutraceuticals several years ago, and now we have electroceuticals. It's the next step in healing ourselves with quantum energy.
Right. Deb, do you have something? Because you know, you're coming, do you want to add to that? Because I want to just hear what you have to say.
When it comes to taking some responsibility for yourself in order to have the balance of health and wellness, there can't be a greater gift than to give yourself something that will be as beneficial as something like this. There's a reason why there is a Healy being sold every 3 minutes. And
Really?
that's when they had the promo going on, it was crazy. People are now finding out about this. When Andrea introduced it to me, it had absolutely no threads, no tread marks yet. It had been only 2 weeks that it was in the United States. And we bought it sight unseen, because if you understand the language and you realize the potentiality that there is here, there's nothing to think about. So the same way that Diane felt, I'm getting this, is actually the way most of us felt. And we have not made a wrong decision. And now we've owned this now for several months. And I just know that it is important that we get this out there, because this is the way to heal ourselves. And even if you feel like there's nothing wrong with you, we've got environmental problems here that are invisible. And so there are things that you need to be proactive. You need to start looking at this now and take charge now.
Barbara Lewison, did you have a question about any of that? Because you just, okay,
yeah. Go
that's,
ahead.
no, because some people are also asking online about the microcurrent. I mean, I don't think I don't understand that. Can you explain what is a microcurrent?
I mean, it is all about, I think that you said a key thing, Deb, that it's about prevention. You don't want to wait until something's wrong because of all the environmental stressors, the endocrine disruptors. You want to keep the energy flowing. You want to keep the ATP of the cell and everything working well. So it's not about waiting till you're not well. It's about staying well. And microcurrent is used, in physical therapy. Microcurrent is, we have electrodes that attach to this, where you put it on the area of the muscle or any kind of inflammation. And that is how this Healy is also used as a microcurrent device.
There are several ways. Andrea, would you like to share how you've been able to do it also remotely?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, let's hear.
That is what Diane was saying and how it blew her away that someone from Australia could do a remote healing session with her. But with the resonance, many practitioners choose that resonance model because with the resonance and the person's photograph, no matter where they are in the world, remember what goes on here is affected elsewhere. A butterfly's flapping here is felt elsewhere in the world. And it's all about quantum physics. So anything that's observed here is experienced elsewhere. And we can run a resonance analysis program for the person with their intention, whatever their intention is to heal. And the resonance will then come up with programs, even percentages. What is it? 70% important to you? Is it 40% important to you? It's really quite amazing. And every time I've done it, people are like blown away from the descriptions. Yeah, that's exactly how I'm feeling. Emotional descriptions.
Great. So maybe, would you mind working with Diane if she had questions? Because,
Well, this is very interesting to me because I didn't have a lot of education about it. I was just, Barb knows me well. I'm have a strong spiritual practice where I know what my inner voice is saying very clearly. And when it gives me a very clear yes, I do not need all of the facts. I know just from experience, go with it, and the rest of it will come as it's needed. So this is one of those sessions of coming as it's needed, because as Barb said, I didn't know a lot to tell her. I just knew it was a yes for me, and that I would learn about it as it came about. But for example, I didn't know that everybody kind of has to do the same programs. Do you get a manual or anything when it comes?
This is why you want to work with a sponsor that is going to be responsible to help you get every informational fact that you need. Because whoever you bought it from should be actually helping you understand all of that. So you have a back office, and in that back office, you'll be able to find all the manuals that'll help you navigate to be able to answer those questions that you're coming up with now that you have a Healy or about to get your Healy.
What do you suggest for her, because she really doesn't have a sponsor? And
well, I do know Angela in Australia quite well, but I don't know that she's giving any of this kind of thing.
It's a direction of, I mean, Deb is the most amazing with the back office. And I mean, it's just basic things where you start with the gold program and you run pure balance and release. A minimum of, you must run it 3 days on their own, just those 3. And then you could add 1 on, see how you do with 4, because that would be 4, because the pure balance release is run for 14 days. After 3 days, you could add other programs on, but everyone's different. Andrea could do 7. I might be able to do 5. You're intuitive, which is great. So you'll know a little bit more what's right for you.
Yeah, I mean, my body pretty much tells me.
Diane,
If you have an advisor, is that you can ask.
Diane, there is a website that was created for us. A-T is in Thomas, P is in Peter, 123.com. Were you given that website?
No,
Okay, what does that website have to do? What is that?
USA, and she connected with somebody in Australia.
All right, wait, give that to me again, Andrea. I want to put it in the chat online.
ATP
AT.
3.com. Now, on that website, there is absolutely everything you ever would want to know about the Healy and how to use the Healy. It's all there. It was created for us recently.
Okay, now what about, well, actually, Diane, I just wanted to ask you, it's a little bit off the subject, but can you, what does that mean, Monday morning miracles that you have back there?
that's something I give every Monday. I send out a quote or a card from, I've created 8 decks, and they're different colors, and they each have quotes on them. I send out one card to a list of people. They get the card if they want to know more about what this means.
Mhm.
Like this one says, because your grievances are hiding the light of the world in you. Everyone stands in darkness. You know, so if you want to know what this means, you turn into my Monday Miracle Moment video, and I have a brief 2 to 3 minute talk on it. I am a reverend for A Course in Miracles. I got that a couple of years ago from the Canadian International Metaphysical Ministries. So, and I teach it. I've taught A Course in Miracles for 25 years in my home. So yeah, so if anyone wants to sign up, I can always put it in the chat.
Okay, thanks for being here, but let me, Andrea, Deb, and Barb, what's the next step for people if they like what they heard here, like my friend Barbara Lewison?
They could email us, Alan. We could talk to them on the phone. We could do a personal video with them to just talk about any concerns, answer any questions, and because it's a decision. It is a decision. It took me a while, and it's nice to know that you have support. I wouldn't have wanted to do this without support. So yeah, that's what I would do.
So if
Can I-
they're interested
Can I ask
in-
one thing quickly?
Yeah, sure.
I think it was Deb who very briefly mentioned this word promotion, and that there was a promotion, and it is that gone? Is that over?
That was when they launched it back in May. And yeah, that's gone.
Yeah.
But occasionally they do have promotions, like I just,
Not very-
I got in on the promotion,
that was a big
and I
launch.
did get the resonance.
Mm.
Yeah, but it ended, I don't know, like the 10th or something, and maybe it goes by country.
Right. But let me ask you guys a question, you women. Some people might have some serious illnesses and they're looking for something and maybe nothing else has worked. Do you recommend this as an alternative or to work with doctors?
That's a good question, Alan, because I'm pretty big on this, having gone through devices. Every illness has certain ramifications, and I deal a lot with cancer. And I have other venues that I turn people towards when that's a situation, because personally, right off the bat, I don't know if I would do this before I would do other things, because cancer's a frequency, could be fine, but I would not mess around. But I think and they tell us it's fine. And that's where you got to kind of tune in. And I think it depends where you are, if it's a fast moving cancer. So that's, again, a consult. As far as most of the other illnesses, MS or diabetes or,
What about autoimmune? If you have an autoimmune, which is sort of like,
amazing for autoimmune.
But remember,
Mhm.
we're not talking disease, we're talking symptoms. So
Okay.
Correct.
disease, you have to work with your doctor, but then you can use this to help with your symptoms. And the only caveats that we've been told that you would not want to use the Healy for would be epilepsy and pacemakers. Everything
Oh, I
open.
see.
Again, it's very personal, and it's your belief systems and what you're doing. And I think we always would honor that. So I might tell somebody else might feel 100% fine with with that. It's very personal.
Someone also asked, is there a way to get a demo, maybe the way Diane did before they buy it? I mean, because, we're just taking your word for it, which is great, but can we do something like
So
that?
this is as far as a demo, this is the thing. Demos work for different people at different times for different reasons. So you're kind of shortchanging yourself by getting a demo. I've seen demos work really well right off the bat, and other people need just more time. So what I would say is probably not a great idea to base your decision on the Healy with a demo. Someone like Diane is really sensitive and knew right away. Other people are not. If somebody, I know that we are offering, people pay us to do distant sessions, but again, everyone's so individual. You might not feel it, and you might be getting the energies. I mean, and that's why if someone's doing microscopy, right? Let's say someone's not feeling it. And before, I used to be a microscopist, your blood is aggregated, and then all of a sudden it's not, and you didn't necessarily feel that. I'm just saying you have to be careful with, let me do a demo, and if I feel really good.
Well, people want to buy something if they have a good, you go to the store, you buy ice cream because you like the taste.
Tell them to email us, and we will work it out with them if they want to. I think each case is very individual.
Exactly.
So so let's say.
Don't promote it.
Frequencies of your cells. So for example, let's say you need B vitamins. You're not going to take one B vitamin and suddenly feel great.
Right.
Build up in your system. Well, the Healy is like that too, because it is working with different meridians, different organs and glands to cleanse them and rebuild them. It's not something you always feel in the moment.
So let's say Barbara Lewison likes it and wants one. I'm not saying you have to, but what would she do actually? What steps would she do to get this in her possession and start using it?
Contact us.
Okay.
That's it. Contact us. It's so simple.
And then, and then she can order it with you and through you. Contact you at that. Is that the only email, the Life Balance?
You only need one. We'll take care of it from there.
Okay. And in the subject, what should she write? Because Barbara gets a lot of emails.
Healy.
Well, that they were on the.
Alan, actually, yeah. What they should write is Alan/Healy.
Okay.
Enough.
Okay, great. So that's it. And then how long does it take to get it? Is when someone orders it?
It's within the month usually. They were so slammed in the beginning. I actually ordered a second one, believe it or not, because the thought of not having it was concerning to me. So I ordered I ordered a second one, and it came very quickly.
Now, do you use this every day? All three of you use this every day?
No, I take weekends off.
I'm not using it every single day. I've gone 2 days where I haven't used it, and then all of a sudden I'm using it for an entire week. It really is intuitive.
But it's not addictive. Oh, Andrea, what?
No, it's not addictive. It's if you are working on a particular issue,
Right.
then why wouldn't you be nourishing your body toward the solution of that issue? And that's what I'm doing now.
Great. Andrea, what's the name? How do people find your herbs and all that? What's the name of your?
AndreaCandy.com.
AndreaCandy.com for these vibrational herbal supplements, which I recommend too. So, okay, is there anything else?
Alan, any questions before we?
Let me see if there's anything from the chat. Anybody else? Diane, do you have a question?
No, I would like to, so it was life belief, because I'm not seeing any.
Life
Me
balance.
neither.
I'll put it in the chat.
LIPH.
Yeah.
Sorry.
P is in Paul, H is in Harry, E is an elephant, balance, BALANCE @gmail.com, LIPHEBALANCE
Okay, good. I'm glad you spelled it. Okay, there it is.
I know.
Oh, I spelled balance wrong, sorry. It's LIPHEBALANCE
BALANCE.
at gmail.com.
This is
Right, there you go.
One woman online says, I use it every day. There are programs for stomach, spleen, pancreas, lungs, kidney, liver, but they come under other headings like sleep, digestion, pain, mental balance. So, okay, an ATP is.
Can't hear you, Andrea.
Program.
what?
I have a question. Does, I know the resonance comes with the, it will look at your whole system and then tell you the program to run. Is that with the other ones as well? No,
No.
only with that one.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
other ones don't look at your whole system, or they'll just feed it, or they'll just.
They're just, the pink is for just everything
it's
and
not-
that,
It's not the pink.
What's
They
it
don't know-
called?
They don't know about the
what's it
pink.
called?
So the goal, the the gold edition, which has, I think, 9 different program pages, and then you have the Healy Holistic Health, which
Okay.
has the gold. No, that's not gonna help.
But it's pink.
Andrea has it in the slide, I think.
Right,
Oh, yes.
yeah.
So you could screen share it again, Andrea.
What's it called, the pink?
It's not about that.
What's it-
See it?
No, not yet. You're not screen sharing at the bottom, screen share.
I just think that would be the most helpful option for most people to actually, if you're talking about everyone being unique and everyone needing, I just think we're actually all similar, but we're at various different points along it, right? And
Yeah.
so yes, you'll need different strengths or, times for different people. So that's what appealed to me about the resonance, was that it would help you with that, because I don't think of myself as somebody who can diagnose myself.
How much is the resonance? Which one is the resonance? The 942?
No, it's the top one. It's 2,357.
And what makes that so special?
That's the whole kit and caboodle.
Because it looks at it looks at your whole system and tells you what programs it is that you need for your system.
And the other
Whereas
ones.
the other ones come with sort of like pre-packaged programs that are good for everyone, right?
Yeah.
And so you're not going to get, you're going to get benefit from it, but it won't be so individually targeted to you, Alan, as to what exactly you might need. So for example, the woman I bought it from, she was having troubles with her hips. And so she ran I'm trying to remember which program she told me she was running, but it was for the meridian for the hips, right?
Mhm.
And strengthening that
I
program.
think it's the gallbladder meridian runs through the hips, maybe.
Yeah, so she was running that program on a daily basis, and she said she was having tremendous relief
Mhm. All
by
right.
running that.
That sounds.
But who would know that? You might know, Ellen, because you studied acupuncture, that's a meridian, but other people wouldn't know. So how would they know which program to run that would be the most helpful for them?
Well, the resonance is probably the most effective program there is. But you might want to start with something less just to see if.
With a lower program. Healy is very sensitive to all the different possibilities that are going on around us. So if you were to buy remember something, Healy is just this one device. So whichever edition you decide to buy, if you decide then to want to get on to the next level, you can do that separately, where you're buying what do you call it, Andrea? If all of a sudden I'm losing the.
Wait, we lost you.
Upgrade.
Thank you.
The
So you
upgrade.
can
So,
always, thank you, I lose my words. You can always upgrade. So you could, depending on where you feel comfortable, you want to look at, the way that I would look at this is you look at these programs and what each edition would give you and see what resonates with you. That's how I started. And when I came in on this, I was completely unemployed and I still felt inclined to go with the resonance. But that's okay. If you decide not to do that and you feel more comfortable going with a lower edition, that's fine, because then you can always purchase the upgrade later, or you can work with something called the Fast Start program. When you buy a Healy and you do a Fast Start program, you actually can make your way up to an upgrade by sharing this information with your friends and family and be able to somehow be able to sell 3 Healys of your own. Doesn't matter what edition. This is something that has benefited so many people because, like, for myself, I can't tell you, I have 5 members of my family, extended family, my cousins, my brothers, who I had to share this with immediately because I know that there are so many ways that this would be of value to them physically. They've had what they needed help with. And so just by doing that, I was able to get the upgrade. So there's ways of doing this. And so you don't have to be locked in. Don't be afraid of that. We'll figure it out together, and there's always a way. There's always a solution.
like, Andrea, can you take it off screen share I just wanted to have one more question, and I guess we'll wrap up. Is it possible for a family to buy one and everyone share? Everyone doesn't need their own.
Correct.
No, we do.
On one of the slides. Absolutely. You can all use the one.
All right, that makes, yeah.
I mean, it's nice to have it on a separate tablet, because this way they don't have to have the phone. And by the way, the programs, except for the resonance, do not run on Bluetooth. You take them off Bluetooth. I know people are concerned about that. And the company is just very aware, and it has hardly any effects of EMFs.
Wait, tell me that again. How does your phone connect to the healing device?
When I put you on the program, I gave you the Healy, I connected to it with Bluetooth, and once it was downloaded into the Healy, I released the Bluetooth and it was all in here.
So you use your phone to download programs to the Healy, but doesn't the Healy already have the programs in it?
We're downloading it. We're downloading it from the app into the Healy, and then we're releasing the phone, the Bluetooth. As far as the resonance, that does stay on the phone. So what I'm saying is the majority of the programs, you're not even attached to
Stays on the
anything.
Healy, you're saying. It stays.
Let me try this.
Yes.
Just to give you a smaller, okay.
Yes.
So the Healy has a quantum sensor. That's the big technology that's going on here. They somehow managed to make a miniature version of what they do with a tabletop version. And it's all in this tiny little device with this tiny little button. You have an app on your phone so that you have all these programs you could choose from. When you wake up the Healy and then you go to the app on your phone and choose the program that you want, the program gets downloaded and the Healy is connecting where it is registering which program that you are looking to work with. So once that program is activated and downloaded, you no longer need the phone or the Bluetooth. The Healy is alive and running until that program is finished. Okay. You have no Bluetooth and you're able to go about it.
Every time you use the Healy, you need your phone to send the program.
Activate the program.
You could have a separate device. You could have an iPad.
I get it. Or yes, or whatever the app is. So the Healy receives it from the phone. So the Healy doesn't retain the program, you're saying?
It does. No.
It doesn't.
The last program you've done, does it retain?
What, say that again, Andrea?
Only retains the last program you've done.
Oh,
So
okay.
Let's say you were going on a hiking trip for the weekend and you wanted to transmit an energy program for the weekend. You don't have to take your phone with you. You can just transmit the one program and keep running it on your phone.
Oh, so I didn't get that. The last program stays with the Healy until you want, okay, that actually clears things up, unless you have the residence, which holds all those programs in it, right? No?
So here's the difference. There are two apps. If you're buying the residence program, there are two apps you would download to your phone. One would have all the microcurrent programs that we can show you what all those descriptions are about, that have 120 programs in total if you're working with the residents or the Healy Holistic Health Plus. Then, because you have the residents, there's a second app that you would download to your phone, which has a blue micro dot, a blue dot on it. What that is the analysis program. It's a residence analysis and it's an aura analysis. And both of those, you do need to have the phone on and the Bluetooth on when you're running the analysis in order for that one to work. But that's going to be for a 5-10 minute timeline, and then it's completed, and then you're off the Bluetooth again.
Okay,
So
the gold, the basic model does not have the analysis programs in it, right?
correct.
And which level starts the analysis program?
So the analysis program is only one. That's the residence. That's the top.
Okay.
That's the one Diane was talking
So
about.
let's look at it like this. Let's say there are 4 editions. The 4 editions are, you have the gold edition, which
For
has,
$500.
which is right, about 500, and that's got nine pages of programs, right? Within each page, there's several programs to that. Then you have the Healy Holistic Health. That has the gold programs plus an additional 8 pages,
Mhm.
okay, of programs.
And that's about 950.
Correct. Then you have the 3rd edition, which is Healy Holistic Health Plus. That has all the gold programs, the Healy Holistic Health programs, and an additional set of pages, because now it's not in front of me, but a total of 120 programs.
Wow. That's about 1,500, right? 1,500.
Correct.
Okay.
And then the 4th one is the residence, which has all from A, B, and C, plus the ability to do in real time the analysis. It's a resonance analysis,
Okay.
or the aura analysis, and what that has to do with the chakras. I might want to add one more thing, and that is on the residence program, you also get the homeopathic programs that you don't see listed anywhere else. Andrea, could you just say that one piece real quick before everybody decides?
Then we have to go. No, that
You have programs. You have a whole materia medica of homeopathy. You have flower essences from Bach in Australia and elsewhere. You have I Ching. You have aura readings and chakra readings. It's quite extraordinary what's on the resonance.
And that's $2,500, right?
Yes.
About. All right, great. No, I'm really glad you went over that last
I
part.
want to say one thing.
No.
Just one thing.
One thing?
If people can only afford a lesser model, you can upgrade.
Later.
They
So if
can
I buy the 500, it's the same little device. They just send me more programs. It's not a new device.
just download more programs. So
Right.
it's not like you have to feel, if you can't afford it, overwhelmed. You
Okay.
start,
Or that you have to buy another piece of equipment. It's all the same piece of equipment, and it's
Okay.
digitally downloaded.
And the
to
other
you.
thing we didn't mention is, so this is not an MLM, it's a group of very conscious people, but there are amazing benefits. So let's say you buy the lower model and you start to sell them. You get points where you get automatic upgrades, depending on what promotions or depending on what's going on. So you're going to want to spread the good news, because that's what
It is an MLM then. It is.
but it does not, based on the way MLMs are. It is very generous.
It's
It
more
has
of a
its own
social
unique-
network.
It has its
marketing.
own unique way, and it is a real social consciousness, and it really benefits everyone in the group. There's like a group consciousness to this whole healing movement. And so you are going to sell them. It just happens. Someone sees it and you talk about it. you will get points, and then you will get a free Healy or an upgrade, or depends on what you sell. So that's a whole piece we didn't speak about, but it's a very valid piece.
And if
You
they're
know, it-
interested, we could share more.
And we'll share more. It's all about
Okay.
abundance in in health and wellness and every other way possible. And Alan, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was great. Just want to remind people who are on the chat for more information, Life Balance, LIPHEBALANCE @gmail.com. One more question. Someone asked about the Trifinity. Have you heard about that? No, I guess
What
that's
is
another,
it?
that's another thing. Okay, never mind. So anyone interested in this great team, working with them and really being educated about health and changing your reality, that's why we call it New Realities. Thanks for watching. This is Alan Steinfeld for New Realities. Great to see all my friends.
Thanks, Alan.
Barbara
Very
will be in touch.
Barbara,
Barbara,
bye again in Canada.
Okay, bye.
good to see you, Diane.
Yeah, good to see you too, Alan.
Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thank you all online for watching. Remember, lifebalance@gmail.com for more, or you can email me at newrealities@earthlink.net. Thanks for watching. I'll be having more New Realities programs, so stay tuned. Bye.